Hello and welcome to the first episode of FSW Signals, a podcast designed to help us look at current initiatives at FSW through a strategic foresight lens. I'm joined today by Jason Dudley, the Vice President of Business Affairs and Technology, Anna Haney-Withrow, the Director of Innovative and Emerging Technology, and Mon Navarro, the Program Support Specialist. Jason, could you give us a little more background into this institute and how it came to be?
Sure, not a problem. So these conversations really started about 20 years ago. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but they were really around IT, and the faculty really wanted a place for research and development, and we never really had funds for research and development. So along came AI, and that really leveraged and created a lot of curiosity at the state level in the institution that allowed us to go out and ask for some funds that were so graciously given to us by the state. And really, the Institute itself, it touches all aspects of this institution. You know, it touches operations, workforce initiatives, teaching and learning, but it also touches the community. So I know Anna's been touring and going all around the community and teaching a lot of people in Southwest Florida about AI. And it really expands into the community, supports the missions of the college. And one of the things IT will focus on is how to leverage emerging technologies, not just how to use them, but why. Really focus on how we can increase and use these technologies inside the teaching and learning environment. I think that's where our biggest gains are. We can use some in operations, but really preparing the faculty and the students to use some of these technologies and passing that knowledge onto our students so they can be successful in the workforce is really key to the institution.
Very cool. Yeah, it seems like this technology is going to be the way of the future in a way, and there's not going to be really any avoiding it, but there's a lot of cool implications of embracing it.
Yeah, I think it's the 1996 version of the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was crazy times.
So, Anna, could you tell us a little bit more about some of the initiatives that we're taking on here?
I would love to. Our initiatives really kind of fall into three main categories, and Jason touched on AI. I think that's one that's been at the forefront of everybody's mind. And we've really developed a human-first, kind of values-driven approach to AI, both in the classroom and in the community. And it's developing really nicely, and we're very excited about it. The other thing that will be opening very soon is our XR suite. So that falls under what we call XR and immersive learning. And really, it's very much about having different kinds of experiences for students who may need to, depending on what they're learning in their disciplines, have some hands-on practice in ways that we're able to provide through that XR suite. And then last but not least, our work is really grounded in strategic foresight. What that means is kind of sense-making about the things that we see happening in emerging technology and what they might mean for the future, and then saying, okay, what kind of future do we want to design for? So taking those signals and saying, okay, if this scaled over 10 years or 20 years, what would that look like, and how would we move to a future that we want? So this Signals podcast is really very much about that. We want to hear from people at FSW. What are you doing right now that you're excited about? And then if that scaled over 10 years, what would that mean for the future of our institution, for workplace readiness, for teaching and learning, and how do we get there?
So going off something you said about the XR lab, Anna, I think it is really cool that students can have hands-on experience with something that you couldn't necessarily go out there and do in real life at that level yet, but you get kind of a little bit of a real-world experience in a virtual setting like that. Could you tell us, Mon, a little bit more?
Of course. I got you, man. But first things first, just like what Anna said, we are going to be opening soon. So the XR suite will be open to everyone. There's going to be a reservation system. So we'll put out more details as soon as we get more detailed info, but that's coming soon. Anyways, just to touch bases on what Anna was saying, immersive learning is what we're trying to go for this XR suite. Basically, we are looking for different ways a student can learn and we believe VR and XR in general is the way of the future for when it comes to immersive learning. Here, just for an example, I'm kind of curious how best do you learn something? Do you learn best by reading it or doing something?
I think I'm definitely a visual learner, and I think like an experience-based one. So I
Okay.
think virtual reality would really work well in
Okay,
both ways.
that's good to hear. And I believe a lot of people are like that, where they learn better when they're doing things, and that's the goal of the XR suite. Basically, provide some sort of learning experience that is more immersive than just looking at a flat screen. Just to give you an example, we are starting a nursing simulation program within the next couple of weeks, and right now it's provided by a third party contractor, but we are also looking to create our own content through applications like ThingLink. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to the future of XR here in FSW.
And I want to add, Mon, that we are expanding to Collier campus.
That's right. Yeah, I just learned that recently. Thank you.
Yeah,
Heard it
problem.
here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. There will be an XR lab in Collier and during the construction progress of ENF. So we will have a spot down there soon.
So it's going to be somewhere in E and F, or
The location is there. I cannot off the top of my head tell you exactly what room it is, but it's going to be a similar layout to what we have in Lee. But
No
we're
worries.
already ordering equipment.
oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. More equipment.
I saw a little bit of the nursing simulation, and by no means is it just a video game. It's really a pretty realistic simulation. Could you tell us a little bit about the things that students can learn?
Of
through
course, it is. So the demo I've been showing to a lot of people, including the students, is this orientation where you have to learn everything, and one of the things that they have to do is basically administer medication, and they're surprised that they're actually doing it, like it feels real to them. So I'm excited for this.
That's really cool because a student couldn't necessarily go and administer medicine to a real human being at that
Exactly.
level.
Like you cannot just pick some random person from the street and be like, "Hey, can you be my test subject for my clinicals?"
So on this podcast, we would like to start doing something called signals, and Anna's going to explain for us a little more what a signal is.
You know, there's actually a really awesome quote, and I don't know who said it, but it is, "The future is already here. It's just not equally distributed yet." And so that's like a really awesome way to think of a signal, right? Like something is already happening. It's not mainstream yet, but we're watching it and looking at it because we want to make sure we understand what's going to happen if and when this really takes off.
So Mon, do you have a signal that you see for the future you could share with us?
I have one right now, and it's not just me. A lot of people that is involved in the VR industry is looking at. But if you guys haven't been looking at the news, Meta laid off more than 1,000 employees on their Reality Labs division. Right now, everyone has a mixed reaction regarding to this. Some are thinking like it's a death knell, but some are looking like it's an opportunity. The way I'm looking at it is that it's just another cycle. Same thing with all other emerging techs that appeared before VR. There's always going to be cycles of trying to hype something and then it dies down, and I think that's what's going on with this. So I don't think it's anything serious, and Meta's not just the only company that focuses on VR. Like we got people like Valve, HTC that creates also amazing things that's just not in a bigger scale, but I don't think it's a death knell for VR.
It might spark some more innovation maybe from other companies.
That's a good thing. Like some other people can take the helm from Meta and be the industry leader.
Competition is good.
It is.
I'd love to see if Apple really actually gets their spatial computing game together.
I'm
because
kind
of
of curious about that too. Everyone is saying that whoever used the Apple version of their headset is that it's amazing. I haven't used it, so
Yeah, it's just not really consumer ready in terms of price and
yes.
how to operate it and so on.
if they were to maybe make the iPhone, quote unquote, of that, like a more cheaper, easier starting point to VR, it could be really popular.
Great analogy. Yeah.
So, Jason, do you have a signal that you could share with us?
I have a couple, and they're unfortunately not positive. The one is obviously agents, which is something we're going to have to deal with at some point in the future. And really what an agent, in my fear, is these agents can go and take your Canvas course. So we're going to have to figure out how we can leverage other technologies to at least detect those and ultimately, hopefully, stop them from taking Canvas courses. But the other one is AI really put hacking in the hands of everybody. And cybersecurity is the one thing that does keep me up at night. And it is really easy now for someone to create a SQL injection script that they want to, attack the FSW website. Now, I mean, ChatGPT will spit that out in seconds. So my signals are bad, but I think there's a lot of good that can come from, approaching those signals and trying to defend FSW, if you want to call it that.
And could it maybe breed some innovation in the same way where we have to rise to a new threat, but we might discover new ways of defense that we
Yes.
never would have thought of before?
Team red, team blue. Yep, it's really what team you're going to play on and how we can use AI ourselves to leverage against some of these attacks.
And I'll just say that I think FSW is a little bit ahead of the game in terms of tracking this signal and kind of understanding what the potentials are and having really good conversations around it. So though it's not a positive signal, I think the positive thing is that it is on our radar and it's something that we talk about regularly.
And agents do have a place.
Absolutely.
Just not in your course.
Exactly.
Taking your exams and everything for you. But I mean, I could totally think of ways I could use an agent at work. But
It can answer my emails. That would be nice.
trust me, that would be nice.
If you start getting a lot of email responses from Jason or Mon, be suspicious.
Look for the bolding and the dashes.
Why are they replying so fast?
Why are they bolding certain words?
So, Anna, do you have a signal for us you'd like to share?
Well, I mean, tracking signals is kind of a ridiculous hobby that I have at this point. But something really interesting has happened in the last month, and that is 2 private clients who are doing AI trading with us from vastly different industries, one from insurance, one from interior design, told us the same thing, which is our customers are using AI in ways that we didn't anticipate, and it is going to change some fundamentals of our business strategy. So what's happening in business now kind of happened in higher education first, right? We said, wow, students are using AI in ways that we never thought of. And now we have to change how we do assessment and how we deliver certain kinds of content and so on. This is happening in business too. And so I would just encourage anybody in that arena to do some focus groups, find out how your customers are using AI, because it will impact everything from operations to marketing and planning for the future, for sure.
Absolutely. I know in the world of videography, it's really flipped things around because 5 years ago, you would need a full film set and a location and actors to get a shot. And now someone could type a prompt in and have something that looks pretty similar there. But I know from that, there's been a lot of innovation from people to either to combat that or to just make their product that much better that it kind of stands against that, or using that AI in creative ways to enhance, other projects.
Yeah, I love the way that you frame that because I think the human touch is going to absolutely be the differential. And in both of those cases, as we talked through with our clients, it wasn't about using AI smarter. It was about what do you do well? What do you care about? How do you bring that to the forefront? So just like a creative person would bring a different kind of energy, right? I think companies need to lead with their values, and that's exactly what we're doing at the college. So that's why we're sharing it with people.
So Anna, could you tell us how people could start tracking their own signals and what they should do if they come across one they think is important?
Absolutely. One, you probably have all kinds of sources that are giving you information about signals all the time. So think about reports that come through your email and so on. But what I'd really love for people to do is to start to think about the things that you're doing, the initiatives that are important to you as signals of a future that we might want to create as a college community. And we're discussing signals on the IIET Teams channel. But if you want to discuss it more broadly, come and be on the podcast or get an emerging tech perspective on your signal, then please send us an email, and we're happy to help walk through what that could look like.
Well, thank you for tuning in for the first episode of FSW Signals. Please let us hear if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, or if you're interested in being on the podcast yourself. And stay tuned for more episodes to come in the future. Thank you for listening.